Hi, this is Joe at Joe's Test Studio. Hi, I'm Joe from Cheap Joe's, and today I'd like to show you something that I learned from Cheng-Khee Chee, my brother, whom I love very much. But since then, since seeing Cheng-Khee do it, I have seen it with several other artists, so I hope he won't mind me sharing this with you because it's already being shown, and I know he wouldn't because he's such a generous person. This is one of the ways to put some highlight into a painting that may be kind of dull or needs a center of interest, so to speak. I did this little painting. It's a wet in wet painting done with 3 colors, actually 4 colors, I believe, 4 of the new Joe Miller signature colors, and I'm going to show you the colors in just a second. But as you can see, it doesn't have a center of interest, so we're going to give it one by putting some birds in it. And the way I start out with this is I use a piece of acetate. This is blue acetate, and I use a photograph that I've made, and this has 2 hawks in it. And I took this picture outside of our house one day of the hawks hovering, and you take your photograph and you simply lay it down and you lay the acetate over it. And then I take a Sharpie pen or a permanent pen and draw around the bird very carefully, or the birds. I have 2 of them there. And then I take an X-Acto knife and again very carefully I cut out the shape with the X-Acto knife. What I end up with is a cutout that's like this is the cutout. With a cutout, this is the cutout part from a piece of red acetate. These are the birds that were put in after that. This is the bird that was put in after that. Here's a cow up here. That's a smaller cow than I have on that piece of paper. I guess it's over here on this one. But there's that cow, and you can have him going that way. You can turn around and have him going that way. So it's an easy way to add little animals or things if you're like me and not too good at drawing these things. I always use my own photographs. That's the only thing you need to be careful of. Don't use magazines to cut out. That would be plagiarism. To find out where I want the birds to be, I cut out of paper the little birds, and I'll lay them on there. So I did this one because I thought this is a good center of interest back there, so I could have one bird kind of down low and one maybe up high right behind him or back here. So I have the 2 birds coming into the painting. I think I like it that way. And this particular bird is right there. There's that bird, just like that. And I'm going to take the magic eraser, the paint eraser, wet it and clean it, and then I'm going to hold this stencil down really close to the paper, the watercolor paper, and I'm simply going to scrub it out lightly. And there becomes my bird. Now, I'm going to have to do it again because it didn't come out that well on this paper, but that's pretty well. Let me dry this a little bit on both sides, put it back over there, just like that, and then I'm going to do it again. There we go. Now then, that's better. That's not a bad bird at all, is it? And I'm going to put a smaller bird right up here in the sky. We probably have to, no, I think it's going to work just fine. I started to say we may have to paint around it a little bit, but I don't believe we will. Right there is going to come the other bird. Let's see, I want to get it just right now. Right there. And blot it a little. And there's that bird. So now we have 2 birds sailing through the sky. That should give us a center of interest there. I'm going to lay a mat over this and see what happens. Oh yeah. In fact, they look just like the painting, don't they? If I had them any stronger, it probably wouldn't work. I can come here and add a little bit of darker stuff to kind of define that wing right there like that, and kind of like that. And there's that bird now heading out also. So that gives me a center of interest. It works good that way. These colors, by the way, I'd like to show them to you, are called Arizona Red. That's this beautiful color in there. This is Natural Gold Ochre. That's that undercolor down in there that's so pretty. And the last one is Hematite Burnt Scarlet. And the dark color is called Shadow Color. So that's the 4 colors that I use to do this little wet and wet. And as I put it on, I sprayed it with just water. People say, is that salt? No, that's just fine mist from water as you're painting it, and that's the effect that you will get. Thank you. I hope you find something helpful in that. Thanks.